Hello, guys and gals, me Mutahar, and ladies and gentlemen, I like Kirby, okay? I think Kirby's a pretty swell feller. But you know what I like more than Kirby? Just playing the odd and Nintendo game. You know what I don't like? Nintendo. You know, a lot of people say separate the art from the artist, and that's what I do with Nintendo all the goddamn time, okay? Make some great goddamn video games, absolutely terrible company practices, okay? Nintendo would probably sue a child dying of leukemia if they chose to download a ROM of a 20-year-old game, okay? If that news article came out, I would actually unironically believe it without no goddamn proof. But now, ladies and gentlemen, the 3DS, okay? One of the coolest devices ever, alright? This thing has a battery life of infinity. It might last longer than you, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been abandoned, okay? This is like the poor child that Nintendo threw out because it got too old, alright? Now, of course, I've had good times to 3DS. You know, you can see from where the vinyl's ripping off. I'm not even gonna tell you what substance caused that, okay? Whatever it is, it's too adult for you to. But ladies and gentlemen, the point is, you can't buy Nintendo games officially, all right? I can't go to the store and buy Soul Hackers and give Atlas my money. You know what my options are? Jim Bob and the flea market. And you know what Jim Bob does? Jim Bob looks up the price and jacks it to the high heavens. Now, of course, Nintendo went out of their way to update the 3DS. But before we get into that, I want to just start off by saying something positive. Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Yeah, at this point we said fuck numbering systems. Let's move on to shapes, buckos. Yeah, that got announced, alright? Remake of Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. Alright, what a thrill! Okay? I'm getting diamond hard for that. PlayStation Reveal came out with that. But thankfully, if you're an Xbox user, a little bit of a Steam lover, you got options there. But let's get started with Metal Gear Solid Volume 1 Master Collection. Ladies and gentlemen, you get Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3, Subsistence, I assume. And since it's Volume 1, please, for the love of God, I ain't asking you for much, okay? In the grand scheme of things, can they just release Volume 2 with Metal Gear Solid 4? Can we preserve Metal Gear Solid 4, God? Can we? Can I get an amen in the comment section? I know we won't get religious on this channel, but I'm gonna ask you all for a collaborative amen, okay? Pastor Muda needs this. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's back out from the world of theology. Of course, Sony also announced the Project Q. For some reason, a streaming console. Yeah, you heard it right. Oh, you don't run games natively. Oh, bitch, this ain't no PS Vita 2, okay? All right, my wife's still gonna shit on me for being a Sony lover. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is a streaming console. I get it, it works for families. You know, you got 10 kids or something. You know, your wife likes to watch a true crime on the TV, and you don't get your option for. You can stream it. I just don't see the feasibility. Sony, if you want to compete with Nintendo and all these other people, make an actual dedicated streaming system, not a fucking PlayStation controller split in half and jerry-rigged onto a tablet. I don't care. You can already do this on the Vita. Hell, you can do that shit on the Steam Deck. Any device, really. You could probably figure it out on a jailbroken Switch. I don't know. If this thing is priced at $200, we're going to have to go to the fucking clown factory. But of course, going back to Nintendo, Nintendo released a brand new update, okay? Version 11.17.0-50. Now, again, you might be wondering, whoa, when you abandon the 3DS and take down the store, why would they update the system? Because Nintendo is so petty and beta that they eventually updated the system just so that you couldn't actually mod it anymore. Now, of course, the old saying, it's super easy to mod a 3DS, just got a little bit harder. Now, I made a video on this about a month or two ago, 3 months ago at this point, and I stand by that video, okay? I think modding a 3DS should be a thing you do, all right? It's a great handheld device. I told you the battery life lasts longer than your marriage, and at the end of the day, all right, it's a great system. You get access to some of the best library of video games, emulation, and, for a very small price point, it is an absolutely banger investment to go into. But of course, Nintendo decided to patch their system. Now, if you have an already modded 3DS, if you followed my guide and you've been updating things, then this won't actually affect you. This only affects people who have unmodded 3DSs. And I have to imagine, why now? It's not like people are going through a piracy situation when you've removed the only proper way to give you fucking money at this point. They're not printing 3DS games. They're not running a digital storefront. Who cares if somebody downloads a ROM now? Okay, the system has end of life. And it's not just Nintendo that does this. I was working on a video for PlayStation 3, and I shit you not, very recently, Sony released an update for the fucking PS3, a system they don't even, operate anymore. So again, I don't know why, but companies are still compelled to be douchebags. But what's funny about this whole story and why I waited a little bit was, believe it or not, the 3DS modding community is so goddamn alpha. And I hate to be using red pill terminology like this, but because they're so alpha, they were able to circumvent this patch for European systems and Japanese systems. But Americans like me, North Americans, have to wait a little bit. But it's so funny how Nintendo releases a patch, and within a fucking 48-hour period, the community has jumped in and stopped it. God bless. But ladies and gentlemen, I believe it's morally okay to pirate Nintendo games. I'm not saying that you should legally do it. I just think it's morally okay, all right? Morality is a lot different than legality. You shouldn't pirate a Nintendo game, but trust me, Jesus ain't sending you down to the goddamn hell zone if you do. The other reality is Nintendo, the system's already dead. Stop this. Seek help. And for those of you who already had an unmodded 3DS, do not update it, mod it, because I guarantee you, the amount of actual fun you're going to get out of it is going to triple. And at the end of the day, modding your system prevents e-waste. So if you want to feel a little bit good about helping Mother Nature, that's a big bonus point right there. That said, though, I don't want to get too preachy. We had a good day talking about video games. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mutahar, and I'm out.